Welcome back to This is a Commander channel, where this is a Commander channel, and today I'm going to talk about Commander, tough rules, and cool interactions, episode 72. Today's episode is going to take a look at one of the legendary creatures that was recently spoiled that will be releasing in the upcoming March of the Machine set. The new card is Drana and Linvala, and it doesn't do anything particularly new, but it does have a static effect that will interact with a lot of cards in a lot of decks in Commander, but there are some things that it may not interact with. So let's start off with reading the card and see what it does, and then get into some examples. Drana and Linvala is a 3/4 legendary creature vampire angel for 1 white, and a black, and has flying and vigilance, as well as 2 static abilities. The first of which says that activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. And then their second activated ability says Drana and Linvala have all activated abilities of all creatures your opponents control. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate those abilities. I'm not sure why the card has that second one, since no version of Drana has that effect or anything really close to it, but whatever. That's not the one that we're interested in for today's episode. The line, activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated, isn't a unique line in Magic. We've seen it on cards like Cursed Totem and Damping Matrix, and of course, we've seen it on Linvala, Keeper of Silence. And while Linvala, Keeper of Silence is a legendary creature that's been around for a long time, being a mono-white legendary creature doesn't make her an appealing commander, especially when she has no other real abilities to build around. However, Drana and Linvala has access to 2 colors and more abilities, so it is likely that she may see some play as a commander or as just one of the 99 in some decks. So I figured it was worth making this episode to clear some things up. I don't think that many players will be confused about whether or not an opponent's Llanowar Elves ability would be shut off by your Drana and Linvala, but what about a player who controlled a Dream Devourer, which says that each non-land card in your hand without Foretell has Foretell. Its Foretell cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2 generic mana. And let's say that player does have a creature card in hand. Well, that's a non-land card, so it would be given Foretell. So would Drana and Linvala's static ability stop that player from foretelling their creatures? No, it wouldn't. And there are 2 reasons why, but the main one is because foretelling a card is a special action, not an activated ability. If you want to know more about special actions, check out section 116 of the Comprehensive Rules. Okay, so what about Fallen Shinobi, which is a creature that has Ninjutsu? First, we must know what Ninjutsu is, and we can see in the Comprehensive Rules, section 702.49, that Ninjutsu is an activated ability that functions only while the card with Ninjutsu is in a player's hand. Ninjutsu cost means cost, reveal this card from your hand, return an unblocked attacking creature you control to its owner's hand, put this card onto the battlefield from your hand tapped and attacking. So we can even see the reminder text of the card for Fallen Shinobi that it has a colon between hand and put. And in Magic, we can always easily identify an activated ability by looking for that colon. Okay, so unlike the Dream Devourer and Foretell, this one is clearly stopped by Drana and Linvala, as it's a creature card and using an activated ability. Right? Aha! This is not the case, and I hope that I have tricked a few of you into thinking that Drana and Linvala would stop Ninjutsu, but it doesn't. Unlike Foretell, Ninjutsu is an activated ability, so we do have that box checked. But where this falls apart is that Drana and Linvala says activated abilities of creatures your opponents control. And Ninjutsu is an activated ability being used while that card is a creature card, not just a creature. I've covered things similar to this in previous episodes, like Tough Rules and Cool Interactions episode 24, that talked about the difference between a creature spell, a creature card, and a creature, so be sure to check that episode out if this part did trick you up. As an additional bonus to why this will not affect ninjutsu is that players do not control the cards in their hand. They can only control permanents on the battlefield and spells on the stack. So when Drana and Linvala says creatures your opponents control, that again does not stop it from affecting something like ninjutsu. Okay, really quick question. If your opponent has an Elvish Spirit Guide in hand and you have Drana and Linvala out, can they still activate the mana ability, the activated ability of Elvish Spirit Guide? Pause if you need to, but I hope that none of you did need to pause. The answer is that no, you can still activate it. Just covered it in the ninjutsu thing. Just slightly different. Thought maybe it being a mana ability might confuse some people. So, yeah. Okay, now the final question. If you play Drana and Linvala, Cormus Bell, which turns all swamps into 1/1 black creatures, and Urberg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, which turns all lands into swamps in addition to their other types, are you a sick-minded individual who should not be allowed to play in a casual Commander game? The answer is yes. Yes, you are. Okay, I'm kidding, of course, but not really. Please do not do this to people at your local game store, and only do this to your close friend group unless they're all playing, some form of brutal magic. Yes, this 3-card setup is just as brutal as you might think it is. Even just the Cormus Bell in a Drana and Linvala deck would be brutal to any and all players using swamps, because the typical mana abilities that we see on lands are indeed activated abilities. So please do not do this unless it's like a prank and you instantly swap out the Cormus Bell for another card and just wanted to see the reactions of the players around you. Okay, that actually sounds pretty funny. I think I might actually try that. I don't know. Whatever. Anyhow, that's all I've got for today's episode. As always, I hope that all of you found this video to be entertaining, at least, and I hope that a few of you maybe even learned something about the crazy rules in this great game of Magic. Have a good one. Ta-ta. And for any of you that are still sticking around this late in the video, are there any other cards that you think would be strange, possible, or possibly not interactions with the Drana and Linvala kind of thing? We've seen a lot of effects like this lately with, was it Channel on those lands, where people tried to counter people channeling those lands, and it was a counter spell, not something that said counter an activated ability. So, yeah, are there any other kind of things that you are unsure of as to whether or not Drana and Linvala would or would not affect it? So if you do have questions about that, or can just think of any cards that you know might confuse some people, please post those down in the comments below. Okay, this is getting long enough towards the end here, so I'm just going to shut up now. All right, I hope you guys have a good one. Ta-ta.